Okay, is it just me? Like, it can't be me, right? Like, I can't be the only one that is saying this, because, like, it just seems very, very clear and obvious regarding NACHT'S or Nach, however the hell you pronounce it. A lot of people say, no, it's German, which should be pronounced knock. Well, if it's knock, who the fuck is it? It's ForneverWorld, bitch. We about to review this. But I have a very, very interesting idea regarding something with NACHT'S, the vice captain of the Black Bulls. I have a theory regarding what's going on with him, and it seems like it's really, really plausible. So you're going to want to stay tuned and hear what I got to say regarding that particular character. But the continuation of the captain's meeting, it's getting spicy, fam. We got 4 demons surrounding. We got shit getting ready to fly left and right. We got the introduction to what seems like more and more the chapter Black Saga of Black Clover, chapter Black Saga. Shout outs to Yu Yu Hakusho. If you don't understand the reference, go watch Yu Yu Hakusho. What are you doing right now? Pause this video, look it up, go watch that shit. Watch it in Blu-ray preferably. But yeah, it's looking crazy out here. The gates of Demon World is about to go down. I love the 7s compared to the demonic shit that's going on. Like, a whole lot of greatness going on. So yeah, people, without further ado, let's jump into that Black Clover greatness. Somebody save Yami, please. Like, now. Do it! Come on! Come on! Come on! Let's do it, people.
I say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be, though.
So the chapter picks up from where the last one left off, with the arrival of the vice captain of the Black Bulls to the big captain's meeting that has been going down since last week's chapter. And the captains ain't playing, and you could definitely tell, like, there's a lot about this character that is kind of mysterious, so to speak, because first of all, aside from a very select few, nobody even really knew of his existence. Now there's the explanation, of course, that was given in the last couple chapters regarding that he was never really around Yami, he hates Yami, a whole bunch of stuff, and we're gonna get into that, because I'm gonna say it right now, I truly believe that the man standing there, we're gonna go with man since everybody keeps on harping, it's not a goddamn Travis, it's not a woman. The man standing right there is not who he claims to be, but not in a devious way either. Again, we'll get into that. I'm gonna keep dropping breadcrumbs so we jump fully into the theory, people. But the captains gear up for battle, and shit was gonna get real. It was gonna get real in a heartbeat, which would have been a test to see if these captains are even remotely close to going up against the other people from the Dark Triad that have devils on them. But Nach is like, and again, we're gonna roll with Nach, why not? Like, it reminds me of when the Bleach arc came and we had all these names like you watch, you habak, whatever. So we're gonna go with Nach. Nach surrounds them with 4 gigantic demons, which is very telling, because up until this point we haven't been able to see anyone aside from Logrid, I think his name was, whatever the hell, the demon that, or the devil that we seen in the last arc with the elves and shit like that. We haven't seen a demon actually be in the physical realm, right? We've only had the shit with the grimoire, the Dark Triad members getting possessed by their demons, but we haven't actually seen them. And not only did we see the little imp devil that Nach had on his shoulder a couple weeks ago that was introduced, now we see 4 giant ones, which, to be honest with you, it could very well just be that demon is able to separate himself into different ones, or Nach is just OP. And it's crazy because as overpowered as Nach could potentially be, he still in this chapter tells us like, yo, I can't do it. I don't got the hands to tango with the Dark Triad, fam. I can't do it by myself. I can't. So it's very, very telling. Despite having all these demons, he's still, he ain't the chosen one. He ain't Neo. Then Julius confirms that no, this is the vice captain of the Black Bulls, but I wasn't aware of him being a devil host, which again would go into the fact why they didn't have, you know, the council and that one dude with the scales. I can't remember his name to save my life. Every week I try to remember his name. I should look that up, right? I should do that. All my notes here, and I don't look up the fucker's name with the scales, the Eisen looking motherfucker. But that's probably why he didn't chase him off, because to be honest with you, I don't think that Nach had these powers when he was in the kingdom. Something happened in between there. Again, we're gonna get into it. Then Jack the Ripper even remembers him, and this is where, and we're diving into my theory now. A few more seconds, people. This is where it started to become a little more clear to me, at the very least, of what's up, because we get the little flashback panels of Jack the Ripper saying, I remember him. He says, hey, aren't you? But your magic was, and we see a flashback panel of Nach with like a white coat. It was like, you know, the Black Bulls coats, but in white, and we see Yami standing next to him, and he just has like a similar appearance, but it just feels like a different type of vibe, right? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, so what does he mean by that? Your magic was, and then I think back to William Vengeance and the whole Patry situation and how there was a duality of people in there, but I'm gonna take it a different route slightly in terms of, I truly think that Nach, the person that actually inhabited that body, is no more. Whoever he truly was at that particular point, and what he's probably, Jack the Ripper, is saying in terms of, hey, aren't you, but your magic was, is probably because that's not the same dude, because what followed up definitely kind of clarified that for me. When Nach says that man is gone. And I think what happened here is as follows. At some given point, whoever Nach was originally was probably a different dude, different person, different personality, all sorts of stuff. Eventually, it had a contract with a devil, maybe similar to Asta. Who knows if Yami knew it or not. It could be the reason why this person that is claiming to be Nach, which is the body of Nach, right, is probably upset with Yami for not being able to save this person, because I truly believe that whoever Nach was is no more. When he said that man is gone, he was referring to the fact that who was the host of this body, who was this actual person, is gone, and now all that remains is the devil that made the contract. But I'm gonna take it even another route, the fact that maybe the devil that was in Nach's body that he made a pact with was friendly with him and had a contract with him at some given point, which gets a little bit messy just because Gil Mordello, that was his name. Gil Mordello was talking with Nach back then, so it could be that there's a multitude of devils that are just inhabiting this body, and in particular, one or two of them were friendly with Nach, or one of them, the main host, was friendly with Nach, and all that remains now is that devil, and that's why Nach is hateful towards Yami and doesn't like him. So essentially, that's just a devil with Nach's body, to put it very simple. Could be wrong, but that's what I gathered from Jack the Ripper noticing that this is the person, but the magic is kind of different, and Nach saying that man is no more, or that man is gone, is because, yeah, that's not the same person anymore. Just think again, Patry and William Vengeance, how the magic was different when there was two different people there. There was two different people. There was the original person who Nach was, and the devil, and now the magic has changed because that's the devil. Nach is no more. So definitely going to be very interesting in moving forward to find out more and see if my theory is correct. Maybe I nailed it. I don't know. And we find out that preparations for the underworld is definitely underway. I mean, obviously, right? They got William Vengeance and they got Yami. That was the whole plan. And apparently there's a schedule here, folks. They got their little itinerary. They're like, yo, check, we got these two bastards, check. Dante took an L, check. Because the next 7 days the advent begins, 7 levels and 7 gates open gradually, 777. And if you kind of look at what they're doing, it's simple, whatever, because opposed to Fairy Tail with Hiromashima's 7 obsession, this is kind of doing an interesting route with it, because these are devils that are coming forth with 777. You know, devils usually represent 666, which means that some more angelic or you know, good-natured people were the ones that set up these barriers and set it up that it'll take 7 days for these 666s to show up. It'll take 7. So that's where I'm gathering the fact that why it's 777. So I'm wondering who put up these barriers between these worlds to begin with. Is that going to be explored? Like, that's when we're really going to be diving into some chapter blackish Yu Yu Hakusho, which it already feels that way. Like, gates to Demon World being, you know, shattered open and shit like that. That gives me those Hakusho vibes. Just saying. And taking it a step further, there's actually 10 devils, and the deeper you go, the stronger they are. The ones at the tippy top that are just like, you know, as soon as you start going down, are at the level of like the Dark Triad. So that means that we're going to need massive power-ups. Just think for a second. Captain of the Black Bulls, one of the strongest mages in the Clover Kingdom at this point, Yami, still needed Asta's help to take down one of the Dark Triad. And that's the fact that those are the weaker ones that you're gonna encounter when you're starting to go down this rabbit hole. So the ones at the top, which he referenced that Lucifero is the strongest of them all. We're gonna get into that one as well, which, like, how is he the strongest when he just took an L? Like, what's going on here? These are demons that are capable of destroying everything, like, you know, just the end game bosses. So when we first start diving in, it's gonna be difficult, which it seems as though it's gonna give a lot of good fights. We're gonna need like 2 and 3 captains per devil, which there's only so many captains, so it's gonna take like maybe 2 captains and a bunch, and their vice captains and a bunch of their crew, all trying to jump these devils. Now, going back to Lucifero, the strongest that is capable of destroying the world, that's just showcasing that Dante himself wasn't the greatest. Like, Dante as, you know, the host, and the fact that he could only get 80% of Lucifero. And think about it, 80% with a weaker mage that was wielding Lucifero's power, and 80% Yami damn near took the L. He needed Asta desperately, and it was was only because of Asta's anti-magic they were able to do anything. If not, it would have been game over. Like, Asta is essentially the cheat code. Without Asta, Lucifero or Dante using Lucifero's 80% would have wiped Yami out, even if he had another captain or two with him. So with that being said, imagine no restrictions, what that's going to be capable of. No Dante that is a, somebody wielding a 80% version. Like, it's just going to be straight up Lucifero. Yeah, that's a nightmare right there, and I can't wait to see him talk with disgust. Like, he probably already at this point is going to abandon Dante, or once the gates open, he's probably gonna, the first thing he's gonna do is be like, oh, you gave me an L right here, hold on real quick, and rip his freaking head off or some shit. And we also find out that once the gates are open, Yami and William Vengeance will die, which, maybe William Vengeance is gonna die. I doubt Yami. Like, the kidnapping is as far as it's probably gonna go. It'll be dark as hell, but I don't see it happening. I see William Vengeance dying, and then that'll be like an excuse. Well, they still opened it up and they had half of the sacrifice, so the gates were weak enough so that Lucifero could just knock them down or some shit like that. Like, that's where I'm guessing it's going to go, because I do see William Vengeance dying. I do see whenever we get the return of some of the elves that were, doing destructive shit, I see them taking the L as well, because it's gonna take a lot. Like I said, Lucifero's not gonna be no joke. It's not gonna be the same type of scenario when Dante was wielding his power, and Dante was putting in work too. And going back to my theory regarding Noct, Nozel starts questioning, like, yo, how the hell he did all this by himself, was able to infiltrate, get all this information, probably again because it's multiple devils, but with a main devil host rocking that body that is Noct, and he was able probably to trick them as well, whether it be that they possibly could sense ki or mana, whatever it is. They're like, oh, he's one of us, he's a devil. Maybe, who knows, there could be a huge possibility that he's fooling everyone and he's a devil that's actually not giving a shit about nothing, and he's tricking them all. You never know, because if he has all this information, it's like, yo, y'all trusted him very much so. And Noct starts going down the reasoning behind what the Dark Triad is doing and says essentially, yeah, they're pieces of shit. There's no explaining it. They're trash. They're garbage. And hypothetically, if Noct is, like I said, just a devil at this point that is controlling this body, when he says unjust evil is the type I hate the most, it's probably because he's a devil, right? And he does evil things, but he doesn't do it unjustly. Like, there's a method to the madness with him, so he's looking at it as like, yo, I don't rock with people like that. That's stupid evil. Like, be evil if it's for a purpose, not just to be evil pieces of shit. So yeah, whether Noct is truly an ally or not is still up in the air, in my opinion. You can't completely dismiss it. The mystery behind him, the change behind him. Like, I personally think that it's a good devil, which is probably going to be a rarity in this series. I think it's a good devil that is at one point befriended Noct, and then something happened to Noct inside of the body, and all that was left was this devil, which could be Gil Modelo even maybe talking to himself, who knows? Because it even goes a step further and says, even if God and devils forgive them, I won't, which, again, probably something severe happened. And I'm imagining maybe Noct gave up a piece of himself so that way they could go completely covert. That'd be sick as hell. Like, the vice captain of the Black Bulls was like, yo, in order for us to truly go covert and for them not to suspect anything, we're gonna have to play it safe, and I'm gonna relinquish my life, essentially, let you rock my body and you continue the mission. That'd be dope. And that could be, again, why he's just like not having it, not playing no games. And the plan, according to Noct at the very least, is to make Asta the centerpiece, the ultimate warrior, and surround him, which would make the most logical sense. Like, if they took out Dante, and hypothetically speaking, if he's the leader of the Dark Triad or one of the other leaders or one of the main forces, I mean, he did have Lucifero, right? So he got to be pretty freaking important, and it was mainly due to Asta's anti-magic. That's a smart move. And I was a little bit unclear because they went from talking about 7 days to said in 3 days the gate to the underworld will be open. I was kind of like, huh? Does it mean that in 3 days the 7-day plan is going to begin? Like, I was a little bit, what? And the chapter ends off with basically saying the counter-strike is about to begin. It's our time to strike. And boy, this chapter got me excited with a couple of things, but I'm very curious what you guys think about a lot of this. For starters, do you think Noct ally, or he's playing a role? What do you think about my theory regarding it essentially being what was Noct's contracted devil that is now just rocking the Noct body, and whoever Noct was originally is gone, based on, Jack the Ripper remembering him, and even Julius remembering him, but not knowing that he was a devil host. Who knows? Maybe Yami didn't even know at the time, and again, this was all done in order to infiltrate truly the Spade Nation. And who do you think are going to be the people that they put inside of these squads in order to go up against, these devils, these 10 devils and these levels and whatnot? And your overall thoughts and expectations for Black Clover's manga with chapter 264 and beyond. Yo, the war against the devils is slowly but surely taking off even more, and boy, I can't freaking wait. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and yeah, let's get to it, baby. The war against the devils, it's commencing.
It's nights like this, and times like this,
What's that?
that I can give another hit. But I've got this inside a switch.